What message would you give to parents in these difficult times? For Catholic families are under a lot of pressure. Parents are wondering what to do, and children are abandoning the faith.
I would say to parents, there is a great turmoil in the world. To be certain, we wouldn't have thought in the 1950s, for instance, when I was growing up, that the very inviolable dignity of human life would be under such attack as it is today. The horrible crime of abortion, but also now more and more euthanasia, as we've seen in some tragic instances that are public. But I know from my own pastoral experience, there's a lot of silent practice, hidden practice of euthanasia going on in society. Also, the whole calling into question of our human nature. As God created us, all we have to do is to read the book of Genesis. It's very clear that God made man, male and female, he made them. And he made man and woman to be joined together in a lifelong, faithful, and procreative union by which he would continue to give new human life. All of these things are under attack today. Now, this so-called gender theory, and even parents that I know, that their children come home from school and are all confused. Little children announcing that they want to be a different sex than the sex that God gave them. So this can all be terribly intimidating, and many parents say to me, "Well, what can we do?" And I think the message I would give to you is this: we know who we are. We know how God made us. The church teaches, Christ teaches us in the church about our great dignity as man and woman, the distinction of the two sexes, the particular gifts given to each, and that the proper relationship between the sexes, such that there is no conjugal union, there is no marriage except between a man and a woman, and that union is intended and is, I shouldn't say is intended, it is a participation in the divine love, and therefore is faithful and is enduring, is for a lifetime. We just simply have to take the time to live this in our families and to try to purify our homes of any false messages with regard to who we are, what is human life, what is marriage, and what is its fruit, the family. But at the same time, to sit down with our children and to talk about these fundamental truths. And sometimes parents say, "Well, I'm not that well educated," or all these specialists, these teachers and others are telling, or what they might be seeing also on the internet, are telling the children something otherwise. But we can't be intimidated by that. We can't let that stop us from fulfilling our duty to talk to our children from the heart about who we are, what God intends for us, what is his plan for us and for our world. And children will hear that message much more powerfully than any other message. God has given a special grace to parents to communicate the truth to their children, and you should never doubt that. And no matter that you don't have flowery language or some a very eloquent way of expressing these truths to your children, if you simply tell them in your own language and with the love which you have for them as parents, this will have a lasting effect in their lives, will be the great gift to them. And in addition to that, you're not alone in this fulfilling the tremendous responsibility of being parents. Our Lord is with you. It is our Lord who united you in marriage. As the Venerable Fulton Sheen said, it takes three to get married. In other words, it's the husband and wife and our Lord himself. And so his grace will inspire and strengthen you to carry out your duties. And in that regard, it's so important to center the life of the family upon Sunday, and particularly on the participation in Sunday Mass, and also as a family to regularly go to confession, to meet our Lord in the sacrament of his forgiveness. These are tremendous fonts of grace. Then also to pray in the family. I would encourage you very much to consider enthroning the Sacred Heart of Jesus in your home as a devotion which expresses our Lord's constant presence with you. And then to pray the Rosary. It would be wonderful if you could pray the Rosary every day, if somehow with the seemingly impossible schedules that families deal with today in terms of activities of children and so forth, but to have some time each week when you pray the family Rosary, and more often the better. And the other thing is to have particular devotions during the year. For instance, I remember at home during the month of May, we always made a May altar, a special table in our home with the statue of the Blessed Mother. And I lived in the country on a farm, and we would go out and gather wild flowers to bring in each day, to have fresh flowers for Our Lady. All of those kind of things, first of all, are a wonderful expression of our own faith, but are a tremendous gift to children. But keep that in mind too, that you're not bearing this burden by yourself. Our Lord is with you, and when you try to do the right thing, He will help you and assist you always with His grace. And ask our Blessed Mother and Saint Joseph to intercede for you and take your special petitions to them.